At the beginning of the movie, we see a woman named Polly. She says, "I don't want to be me. I'm so tired of feeling like none of it matters. I try so hard, but nothing changes. It doesn't get better. I'm still right here and it's all the same." Tara asks, "What do you want?" Polly answers, "For it to stop." The scene shifts to Polly arriving home. She listens to several voicemails, which make it clear she's been going through something and often ignores other people's calls. Her house looks messy. She pours herself a drink and then practices for a job interview. She is then seen near the fireplace when the doorbell rings. Polly opens the door to find an elderly woman who says, "I don't know where I am. I thought I knew someone who lived here." Polly tells her Mrs. Trott lives next door. The old woman explains that a cab dropped her off. Noticing that the woman is shivering from the cold, Polly kindly invites her to come inside. Once inside, the old woman asks for a glass of water and looks around the house. We then see that a few of her fingers are missing. Polly brings the water and asks if the woman has her phone to call someone. The woman says she doesn't know how to use phones anymore, but she does have her son's number. Polly tells her to relax a bit first. The old woman asks if Polly is married. Polly says no. The woman remarks that the house is a lot for a young woman. Polly explains the house belongs to her sister Lainey, who with her husband rents it to Polly. They have a little girl named Allie and moved across town for a bigger yard. After a short silence, the old woman abruptly says, "I'm going to start now." She sees something that makes her tense. Polly, confused, urges her to give the number so she can call the son. The woman then takes a box, sets it on the table and says, "This will be for you now." She opens it and pulls out an hourglass, placing it on the table and declares, "You are going to die."
Like, comment, subscribe to Recapss Horror.
Polly asks, "What are you talking about?" The woman replies, "You can be sad, you can be scared, you can be a lot of things, but it won't change the truth. You are going to die tonight." Terrified, Polly tells her to leave. The woman says she has to do things. Polly says she's calling the police. The woman warns, "Don't you dare, you can't do that. Don't tell anyone." Polly immediately puts the hourglass back in the box and escorts the woman out of the house. Suddenly, the old woman calls Polly by name. Polly asks how she knows her name. The old woman replies, "I thought it was a nightmare, but I didn't wake up." "You won't wake up." Ignoring her, Polly goes back inside and locks the door. After a while, Polly peeks out the window and sees the box lying in the street. She calls her mom and tells her everything. While still on the phone, Polly steps outside, goes up to the box, and nudges it with her foot. Her mom suggests it could be something cultish, then quickly changes the subject. "Are you ready for your interview tomorrow? What are you going to wear?" Polly says she'll try on some outfits and send pictures, then goes back inside. Later, she tries on clothes and texts photos to her mom. While she is scrolling through the pictures on her phone, we notice a woman's reflection in the mirror behind her. Just then, a ghostly woman appears behind her and whispers Polly's name, startling her. She bolts downstairs and lights a cigarette. Her phone vibrates. It's her mom. Polly tells her, shaken, "I felt you up there a moment ago. I heard your voice and smelled your perfume." Her mom tries to calm her and asks if she picked an outfit. Still trembling, Polly goes back upstairs. When Polly finds nothing and sits on the couch, her mom says she's going to bed. At that moment, Polly notices the box right in front of her. Terrified, she tells her mom that the box is in the house. Her mom suggests she might have carried it in. Polly insists she didn't. Her mom asks, "What do you see?" Polly opens the box, takes out the hourglass, and tells her mother the sand isn't falling. Her mom replies, "Well, you haven't started yet." Polly, surprised, asks, "Did I tell you about the hourglass?" Her mom says, "Maybe, but it doesn't matter." Polly asks, "Mom, what are you talking about?" Then her mother's voice shifts. "Polly, I am not your mother," she says, laughing maniacally. "You're going to die. Do you understand? You are always so slow." Then she starts singing a song. Polly cuts the call. At that moment, the doorbell rings and someone begins pounding on the door. Her phone suddenly rings again. It's her mom, she says. "We know everything about you. Everything you would never tell anyone, and starts telling about her personal life. She says, "You're an open book to strangers, but you shut down the moment anyone gets close. You never feel connection. You never feel love. You barely feel anything anymore." She continues, "You are going to die, unless..." Polly asks, "Unless what?" The voice repeats, "Unless word," then shouts, "Look at the box. See what we gave you. 3 things go inside. Something you hate, something you need, and something you love." Polly says she doesn't understand. The voice replies, "You better learn. Time is watching you. What goes inside, only you decide. We will know when you lie." Then the line disconnects. Later that night, Polly stares at the box. She touches it and whispers, "Something you hate, something you need, something you love." She lights a cigarette. After smoking, she stubs it out and places the cigarette pack inside the box, saying, "Something I hate," then closes the lid. She opens the box again and, seeing nothing has changed, gets up to leave. Suddenly, the sand in the hourglass begins to fall, and Polly starts choking. Coughing and gasping, a key slips from her mouth. She pushes it away, and the scene cuts to her, knocking at her neighbor's door. A woman opens. Polly says her phone isn't working, and she needs to call the police. The woman, already on the phone, asks what happened. Polly pleads to use her phone and asks if she can come in. We then see Polly at the woman's house, while the woman continues talking to her husband. Polly, desperate, keeps insisting she must call the police, but the woman keeps speaking on the line. Suddenly, the woman takes another call, turns to Polly and says, "The police just called." Polly, surprised, asks what they said. The woman keeps talking, then suddenly takes a knife in her hand, says, "Look what you made me do," and presses her cheek against the blade. Polly screams. The woman whispers, "We are everywhere," and slits her throat. Smiling as she collapses, she murmurs, "No one else can help you," and stabs herself again. Polly is terrified and notices, "Don't you dare," scratched in woman's chest. The scene cuts to Polly at her home, washing her blood-stained hands. She lights another cigarette and checks her phone, still dead. She sees the hourglass and realizes the sand is running out. In panic, she pushes the box and the hourglass off the table. When she gets up, both the box and the hourglass are back on the table exactly as before. Just then, a photograph falls from the wall, and her image in the picture is distorted. Her phone rings. It's her father. Polly, terrified, answers. As her father says hello, she blurts, "You're dead. You're not him." He replies, "Don't say that." Polly insists. "I did what you said. I put them in the box." He corrects her. "You were told to put something you hate, not something you're supposed to. We'll know when you lie," he adds. Then remembers how, when she was small and frightened at night, she would wake him up, always searching under her bed and in her closet for whatever she claimed to see, but never finding anything. He taunts her. "Maybe Daddy lied. Maybe they were always there. You're wasting time. Why don't you pull yourself up off that couch? What do you hate, Polly? What did you believe in? What did you lose the day I died?" Polly picks up the key, opens her closet, switches on the light, moves the clothes aside, and unlocks a drawer. Inside the drawer, she finds old photographs of her father. Suddenly, the closet door slowly shuts on its own. Polly looks through the photos and finds one where her father is sick and hospitalized, wearing a cross pendant. She spots the same pendant in the drawer and clutches it tightly in her hand. Just then, the lights begin to flicker. Polly decides to leave, but when she tries to open the closet door, it's locked. The lights flicker again, and a hand appears behind her, touching her shoulder. Startled, she turns around, but no one is there. She moves the clothes aside, checking if someone else is inside, but the closet is empty. Suddenly, her father's ghost haunts her, and the closet door bursts open. Polly falls back as the ghost vanishes. Terrified, she clutches the pendant tightly. Then her father's ghost crawls out from under the bed and grabs her, dragging her. Polly screams and struggles until she manages to free herself. She then looks under the bed, but no one is there. Later, staring at the cross pendant, Polly mutters, "You let him die. You let him suffer. Dad prayed to you every day. I prayed to you every day. Is there something I hate?" Looking at the cross, she says, "I hate you," and places it inside the box. She closes the lid and waits. After a while, she opens the box again, and the pendant is gone. The hourglass begins running once more. Just then, she hears a woman's voice calling, "Polly, do you see me?" Polly looks around, but sees no one. She turns toward the mirror and steps closer. Her reflection's expression is different. It smiles while Polly doesn't. When Polly raises her hand to the mirror, the reflection mirrors her movement, then suddenly pulls away. The reflection suddenly begins striking the mirror with the scissors, screaming, "You are dead!" The sound of metal clanging against glass echoes through the room. Then the reflection stops and slams its head against the mirror. Polly finds the scissors in her hand and whispers, "Oh my God." Her reflection echoes it. Another Polly screams behind her, and everything vanishes. Suddenly, Polly's phone rings. It's her sister, Lainey. Lainey says she's been trying to reach her for the last 20 minutes. Polly, still shaken, asks, "How do I know this is really you?" Lainey, confused, replies, "What are you talking about? You called me earlier, past 10, after I told you not to call the home phone this late. You said you were scared. You said something might happen to Allie." Polly, terrified, insists, "I didn't call you." Lainey, growing worried, asks what's happening, and then says she can see Polly's car arriving outside. Panic surges through Polly as she screams, "It's not me!" The line suddenly disconnects. Polly rushes to the front door and tries to unlock it, but it locks again on its own. She tries repeatedly, but each time the lock clicks shut. She bangs on the door. The windows are sealed tight too. In desperation, she hurls a table at the window, but it doesn't even crack. Desperate, Polly grabs the box and yells, "What do you want?" "What do I need?" Suddenly, the TV turns on by itself. A tape plays, showing Polly with her niece, Allie. But now, Allie's face on the screen is covered in blood. Polly tries to turn off the TV, but it won't stop. Even after unplugging it, the video keeps playing. From the tape, she realizes the horrifying hint. It's asking her to cut off her toe. Polly screams, "This isn't true!" "Not this, please." But terrified that something might happen to Allie, she gathers her courage, trembling and breathing heavily. She screams in agony as she chops off her toe, finally completing the act in unbearable pain. Polly then picks up her severed toe, says, "Something I need," and places it in the box. The TV immediately switches off. Stumbling toward the kitchen, she grabs a first aid kit and hurriedly wraps a bandage around her bleeding foot. Suddenly, her mother's ghost appears, saying, "Quit your crying," then vanishes only to reappear again, whispering, "Humble yourself, we will know," before disappearing once more. Panicking, Polly rushes back to the box and opens it, only to find her toe still inside. "No!" she screams. "I cut my toe off. Take it, please." Just then, her phone shows wrong text on the screen. The TV flickers back on, showing Allie. Desperate, Polly brings the box to the mirror and pleads with her reflection. "What do you want me to do? Don't hurt Allie. I'll do anything." The reflection silently hints that she must cut off her finger. Terrified, Polly screams, "You tricked me!" She picks up the scissors, steels herself, and screams in pain as she cuts off her finger. She immediately drops it into the box, and as soon as she closes the lid, all the lights in the house go out. Using her shirt, she ties her hand to stop the bleeding. When she opens the box again, the finger is gone and the hourglass resets once more. Just then, the front door creaks open. The scene cuts to Polly arriving at her sister's house. She rushes to the door, knocks frantically, and when no one answers, she uses her spare key to enter. Inside, Christmas music blares loudly, calling out for her sister. She hears Lainey's voice faintly saying they're upstairs. Polly runs up and bursts into Lainey's room, only to find her sister lying dead on the bed. Horrified, she sprints to Allie's room and discovers Allie too is dead. Polly cradles her niece's body, sobbing uncontrollably. Placing her back on the bed, she breaks down in tears, screaming, "She didn't do anything." She comes back downstairs, turns off the blaring music, and breaks down crying. Suddenly, she notices the box and the hourglass sitting in the room again. Crawling toward them, she grabs the box and throws it away. Just then, The landline rings, followed by every phone in the house ringing at once. Polly picks up the landline. It's Allie. Allie's voice sounds eerie as she says, "Auntie P, you haven't finished, have you?" Polly cries, "You killed them." Allie replies, "No, you did. Are you ready to play more? What do you love?" Polly says, "I loved them." Allie taunts, "Did you? Think hard." Polly replies, "I loved you." We then see Polly walking upstairs with a knife in her hand. Still on the call, she enters Allie's room and says, "You're dead." Allie's voice answers, "No, I'm right here with you. I think you should take my nose, or maybe my eyes." Instead, Polly cuts a lock of Allie's hair. Allie cries, "No." Allie's voice trembles, asking, "What if you're wrong, Auntie P? Will it be over?" Polly whispers, "Something you love," and places Allie's hair into the box, saying softly, "I will always love you," before closing it. The line disconnects, and when Polly opens the box again, the hair is gone. Suddenly, she hears footsteps and sees Lainey coming down the stairs. Looking normal, Lainey asks when she arrived and if she's okay. Polly rushes to Allie's room, relieved to see her alive, but her joy turns to horror as black spots appear on Allie's face. Allie eerily says, "I want to play, Annie P," grabbing Polly's hand. She laughs, then vanishes. She whispers, "I want to show you something," peeks hauntingly from the corner of the bed, then drags Polly over, sits on her, and stabs her. The scene cuts to Polly waking up at the dining table. In front of her sit the box and the hourglass, the sand already running. Exhausted, she cries, "You're a liar. I've done everything. I gave you everything. Something I hate, something I need, something I love. What more do you want?" She opens the box, drops her ring inside, and closes it. When she opens it again, the ring is gone and the hourglass resets. Desperate, she puts her chain in next. It too disappears. In panic, she pours her own blood into the box. Suddenly, a hand bursts out, grabs her arm, and tries to drag her in. Polly screams, "What is left now?" and manages to free herself. She cries, "Let me go! Why won't you let me go?" She then remembers the old woman who once knocked on her door. She knew exactly what she wanted and gave the box to her. Cut to Polly knocking on doors. No one answers. In the middle of the street, she shouts for help. A light suddenly comes on in one house, and Polly heads there. A woman opens. Polly says she was just dropping something off, and that her sister's house is down the street. She'd forgotten her key and was locked out. When the woman asks if she needs anything, Polly insists she just needs to come in for a moment. The woman explains this is her parents' house, and they're at a work party, but reluctantly lets Polly inside so she can call her sister. Once inside, the woman asks if Polly is all right. Polly apologizes, and the woman excuses herself. Polly notices a cat, and for a moment, imagines the woman screaming. She takes the box from her bag, sets it on the table, and lifts out the hourglass. The woman returns with tea and says her parents will be home soon. She asks about the box. Polly asks, "Is your name Tara?" The woman, startled, asks how she knew. Polly replies, "I just do." Tara says Polly should leave, but Polly, urgent and hollow, says Tara will understand soon. When Tara asks what's wrong, Polly answers, "I don't want to be me anymore." Is that a weird thing to say? This is the same scene we saw at the beginning of the movie. Polly continues, "I'm so tired of feeling like none of it matters. I try so hard, but nothing changes. It doesn't get better. I'm still right here, and it's all the same." Tara asks, "What do you want?" Polly says, "For it to stop. I'm going to start now." She adds, "Your parents aren't coming home. That wasn't true, was it?" Then coldly, she tells Tara, "This box belongs to you now." Tara pleads for her to leave. Polly then declares, "You are going to die," and the scene cuts to black.
You're still watching? Good. Like, comment, and subscribe to Recapss Horror.
We then see Polly arriving at her home. She sits by the fireplace when the old woman suddenly appears behind her, holding the box. "It wants me to kill you," she says, freezing Polly in fear. The old woman continues, "It won't let me go. You have to do things. It never stops." She lunges at Polly, trying to force her to comply. Polly pushes her back, and a violent struggle erupts. In the fight, Polly stabs the old woman. As the woman chokes, Polly asks, "Why me?" The old woman replies, "Someone knocked on my door, and I just opened it. No one ever knocks. Not anymore. They could have knocked anywhere. I could have gone anywhere, but I didn't. I think it chooses us because we are broken. You were kind to me, but it doesn't matter. I tried so hard. The things we do to ourselves, it's never enough. I was so afraid, and the box needs that. The sand needs it. Don't be afraid of dying. Don't be afraid." With that, she dies. Polly then visualizes her earlier conversation with the old woman and realizes the woman saw the future, just as she had seen Tara screaming. Voices of her mother, Allie, and father echo around her, telling her she's going to die. Polly says, "I won't do it anymore," and lets the sand in the hourglass flow completely to the bottom. The scene cuts to black. We then see Allie alive in her bed. Lainey comes downstairs and notices Polly's clothes scattered around, and the living room is in disarray. Polly wakes up in her house, her finger is gone, and she steps outside to see her neighbor alive, the one she went to call the police. She rushes to Lainey's house, finds Allie playing. Relieved, she hugs her tightly, telling Allie to inform her mom she'll be back soon. Polly then goes to the house where she had given the box the night before and rings the bell. Tara opens. Polly says she can't play anymore and demands, "Give me the box back. I should never have given it to you." Tara, confused, asks who Polly is and what she means, claiming she and her parents just returned from a holiday. Polly, unsure, leaves. Suddenly, her phone vibrates in her pocket, but she's too afraid to look at it. The scene then cuts to Tara at her home. She sits on her couch, staring at a wall smeared in blood with the words, "Tell no one. Trust no one. Listen to no one." She lies. Her fingers are chopped, and she's clearly under the box's influence. She picks up the box, puts something in it, and whispers, "Something you want." We then see that, under the box's influence, she has killed her parents. Her phone vibrates and the movie ends. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the chills, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a scare. Until next time, stay spooky.